Welcome back to Rinoa Reviews! So glad I got Edgy Berserker to join me on a co-review of Battle Arena Toshinden yesterday, even giving me a bit more information someone like me would have overlooked. I admit I don't go super deep into this, but Edgy pointed out that the voice of Tracy is the live-action anime girl Apollo Smile, who on Late Night Sci-Fi Channel I remember seeing. I didn't remember the name, but when I looked up Apollo Smile on YouTube, I'm like, oh, I recognize this. Because she was responsible for showing me that there was a Fatal Fury movie. It was the third one, heavily censored for TV, but when it came around to showcasing it a second time, I made sure I had a VHS at the ready to record and boom. Censored for TV, so I had to stop and start to cut commercials in Apollo, but that's before I get the uncut DVD. But yeah, big time thanks to Edgy Berserker for that. I recommend her channel if you like fighting games. Some great ones like Tekken, Street Fighter, she's done Fatal Fury, all the classics. Some not so great like lesser ones like Fighting Eyes and Fist for the PlayStation 1. Ooh. Anyway, it's time to return to the measuring stick that was Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, because today's review tried the same formula of violence, a spot of fan service, and 90s metal to try and emulate the same success. Did it work? We're about to find out with my review of Tekken, the motion picture. This movie's opening is a little bit preachy, going all over the place, but the gist of it is man fights, battles, for a reason, whether for something as pious as their belief in God or as simple as survival. Quote, to master the way, ask your own ken or fist. Complete knowledge of one's flesh, blood, and fist is what creates one's Tekken, and Tekken is the key to life! So some girl's cradling some rabbit crying. Kid Necrotigi from behind is ready to take on whatever killed it. Before he can avenge this rabbit, who shows up but Heihachi grabs him, rips off his sentimental trinket before he takes him off. Father of the Year already making his presence felt as he tells his son standing over a cliff, quote, lions throw their cubs off of cliffs and raise only the ones that climb back up. If you're really my son, you'll climb back up. Was this always in the games? I know Tekken 7 later references this, but I don't know if this was always a thing, like even early on Tekken. Little Kazuya getting tossed off a cliffside. I looked this up. It's actually a very Asian misconception that the whole lions raise their cubs, throw them off cliffs. It's even a reference in Hokuto no Ken called Shishinoko Otoshi, or lion cub drop. Ryuken does this to Rao, Toki, and Kenshido. They had to climb back up to receive further training in the deadly art of Hokuto Shinken. Can't teach it just anybody. Heihachi's, I guess, a big fan, or just, is he so out of touch? No, it's my son who's weak. The little girl sees this go down and has the trinket in hand. Seems like a recurring nightmare for the now grown-up Jun Kazama, who is now being informed of a scene of fishermen fishing out a full skeletal dinosaur. Head guy believes that they've been man-made by the Mishima conglomerate. Rumor has it they're building up to start a war. Only way in is through the King of Iron Fist tournament on this deserted island. So yeah, main protag Jun Kazama, who gets jumped by Lei Wulong? Oh, right, he's police. He just wanted to test their skills and warns Jun not to take things lightly. Heihachi, meanwhile, warns his adoptive son, Lee Chaolon, who's worried of Kazuya possibly surviving. He's got Nina Williams in his car to some of that 90s metal, prepping her for Kazuya in the tournament. Flashback to little Kazuya, climbing up and swearing revenge on his dad after nearly bleeding out. A voice appears egging on this revenge. Ooh. Aurora Borealis. At this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within Mishima Dojo Cliffside. No, mother, it's just the devil making a deal with Kazuya. Now he's all grown up, waking from his nightmare, and sounds like, if you played Symphony of the Night, you kind of have an idea. I don't know if it's the same voice actor. It's Robert Belgrade, I believe. Or anime Vin Diesel, as best as I can to describe his very deep, dubbed voice. Something's crawling around inside of me. Just in time to almost get machine gunned down by Nita Williams. This fails, so when she tries to knife him, she gets her shit rocked and sent out the window. She tosses a grenade that Kazuya leaps out the window from, Kazuya warning Nina. Now both on the water below. Let my father know he should clean his neck waiting for me. And a rock music intensifying and full boobage. Turns out Chaolan's tooting on Nina with Anna. Chaolan wants Kazuya wiped out, so he's the only heir to the Mishima. Probably has plans to take out adopted dad, too. Lee and Jun on a very old computer. Seriously, it's eggshell and the side drive for tiny hard disks and such. Kind of like my family's first computer. Oof, probably dial-up, too. Somehow this gets specs of the island where the tournament's taking place, because there's always an uncharted island. Complete with some underground bunker of sorts. Several ships headed to the island, including our two heroes on one. Dudes with guns trying to keep a giant man with a little girl on his shoulder away from the main boat since he does not have any entry pass. Lee and Jun arrive to stop the gun guys. Lee Chaolan sizes him up and sends Bruce to take him on. Yeah, Bruce Irvin. Winner moves on to the tournament. Bruce breaks his own hand punching this guy and gets one-shotted. By now, fans might have recognized the Mohawk and camo. I know it's Ajax, but which one? Unspoken Gonryu cameo in the background as Lee is impressed enough to allow this giant to enter. Jun senses sickness from the tiny girl and nothing at all from stupid sexy Jack. I'm at 3 Simpsons references so far. Do I hear 4? Lei commenting on how skinny Michelle Chang, sitting all mopey, is looking. Jun goes to comment on Lei's slight sexism and definitely senses Kazuya boarding. She's like, oh shit, what's that? They all make it to the island by night, so they all stay in their hotel rooms as the outside is swarming with machine-toting guards. Kazi in some gym getting his training on as his chest scar starts flaring up. Jun finds him and tells him everything about what happened. She still has the trinket, it takes some talking, but Kazuya does see this is the girl from before. She was fearing he'd die, trying everything to find and help him. He tells her, the scar from the injury and my thoughts of only getting revenge were the reason I even survived any of that. I even sold my soul to the devil. Revenge is all I live for. You think otherwise? Prove it with your fists. Nina interrupts with some nasty garrote wire for Kazuya. I guess she overlooked Jun being there too because she helps Kazuya escape. But a job's a job, I guess. Anna shows up with her freaking bazooka! Bitches do love cannons. Alarms sound with this, but no one shows. I mean, it was most likely Chaolan who ordered the hit, so just send someone in to turn it off later. Nina disappears. Anna taunts and runs off, and Kazuya blows off the fact that Jun throwing the trinket was enough to stumble Nina and save his life, saying, he'll kill his father tomorrow. You interfere, you die too. Morning time, bring on the cameos. Tekken 2 form Yoshimitsu with the straw hat. Armor King, oof, law, buddy. You're so bland looking here. Michelle, Jack 2, I guess, since we're doing Tekken 2 Yoshimitsu. Kazuya, Paul Phoenix in his French fry hair. Bayek, regular king. Fucking Cheetahman looking ass over here. Lei's found a way to the underground while Jun plans to meet Heihachi personally to settle things. Lee Chaolan shows up to lay down the rules. It's a race to a tower where Heihachi himself awaits, who bombastically interrupts Chaolan, and then so does Michelle. Spoiler alert! This is the Power On segment of the movie right the fuck here. This might be the most anime shit level of badassery that the rest of the movie doesn't even come close to. This is the peak of the valley. I found it on a video called Heihachi Rules by Low Life Lenny on YouTube. If you've seen the movie, y'all know it's coming, but if not, just seriously pause this and go check out Heihachi Rules, R-U-L-Z. I'll wait. Friggin' awesome, wasn't it? Okay. It has to be soon to be believed in and truly appreciated. I'll try and describe this. Michelle wants payback on Heihachi. She has the Native American archetypes some of these fighting games have. She launches a tomahawk at Heihachi, who proceeds to catch it with his teeth and break it in pieces by biting down. That alone awesome enough, but then the cherry on the top was her reaction to just, oh no! It was at that moment she knew she fucked up. Heihachi jumps down. Ptuh. Survive and get to my tower if you really want to kill me. Tournament begins as Bayek is the first down to the tournament. Michelle drops Ganryu, so more than just a cameo appearance. Chaolan's watching this with all his hench science ladies. He's got his own plans for the tournament participants. Wulong continuing to make his way to the underground. And Jack shows up to return the favor after they helped him on the boat and the girl. Telling Lei he seeks Dr. Boskanovich to save the girl's life he had in tow. So much for Michelle, she gets battered by Kazuya, saying, I need to get my revenge. He burned my village. Kazuya coldly tells her she's too impulsive and emotional to win. He'll kill Heihachi himself and almost kills Michelle before Jun intervenes. Chaolan finds Lei and Jack, sends Prototype Jack ×3 after him. One of them gashes open Jack, so Lei can really see he is indeed a robot. Jun making ready to fight the anger out of Kazuya or whatever, but she senses something. Lei has sent out his R experiment on the fighters. Even as he was told Anna and Nina were about to square off. Lei and Jack make it to a secret lab, and the former gets bopped by Roger while snooping. Dr. Boskanovich is here, too, and he can walk! Don't know if he could always do that. Tekken 3 was where it really started. I saw Tekken 2 in arcades and was really blown away by how many secret characters were ready to go in that one. Time release, first time I ever heard something like that. But it's finally time for the Williams sisters to throw down. Nina's like, it was you who killed father. Anna's like, oh, you'll pay for that. I'm not hearing it all. I looked him up. Richard Williams. He did actually like Nina better because she, like him, wanted to be an assassin and died of natural causes, according to the wiki. Or gunfire protecting his daughters, according to Death by Degrees. Which is Tekken's answer to games like Sub-Zero Mythologies, where it's a side game with Nina Williams, man starring with shit controls, where I think even direction pad inputs are moves or something like that. Edgy Berserker suffered through that one. There's a playthrough on her YouTube if you're curious. Anyway, Anna tells Nina she's being used and Chaolan loves her more. Neener. She gets all nasally. And she's the first casualty of fucking stealth baby T-Rexes? Meanwhile, Jack mentions with the girl, he got a conscience that took over as designed by the doctor. He began fighting uprisings over in Russia, but that conscience took over, saving the girl. We got Kazuya and Jun fighting off the stealth dinos. Chaolan's like, Tekken, I'm gonna rule the world with my fucking dinosaurs. Heihachi already kind of blowing off his adopted son earlier, thinking Kazuya will arrive no matter what. Kazuya makes good on that by ripping one of the Rex's jaw in twain. Kazuya reveling and making dinos extinct. One of them sees this and just like, fuck this. Just stealths away and backs down. Holy shit. The other dinos retreat as well. Ain't no stopping Kazuya now. Chaolan decides, fine, I'll take him on myself. But he's all about his projects and not about his training, his Tekken. So Kaz one-shots him. Heihachi slaps him away. Nothing stopping him either. As they fight, Chaolan gone bye-bye guns down his whole entire science division and begins a self-destruct sequence complete with overacting. Heihachi winning his fight and again Jun interferes to ask Heihachi what the dealio is. He's all about destroying and remaking this world, most likely in his image, saying he'll conquer the devil and bring the renewal of the gods. And would have killed himself if Kazuya failed to come back? Apparently being off your goddamn rocker runs in the family. Even if you are adopted. A lab door is about to seal over Wulong and the others. Jack sacrifices himself to save the girl and the others. Alan's getting all tore up, but the fight between father and son rages alongside. I guess a makeshift volcano is as good as any for Kazuya to throw his dad into. Wait, no, it was a cliff. Heihachi throws Kazuya into a volcano at the end of 2. My mistake. Because that sets up 4. Jun interferes again, trying to reason with Kazuya. If killing me stops your anger, I'll sacrifice my life, trying desperately to reach Kazuya as he wonders, why is she crying for him? She says, I couldn't save you then, I'd like to save you now. Flashback comes full circle as little Jun tries to explain to Kazuya that the bobcat was just hungry. Rabbits are gentle by nature. They don't want revenge, so neither should you. Don't let revenge fuel you. Kaz finally breaks free, and this is apparently enough to break free of the devil's hold, too. Heihachi attacks, Jun takes the hit. Most of the fighters, other than Anna, actually make it out okay, as does Kaz and Jun. Heihachi stays and probably dies with the island. I don't care if it's years later now and you've got little Jin now. You don't get much with this sequel, but play us out, Offspring. And now it's Tekken the motion picture. Like Toshinden, it tried to do what it can in under an hour's time and with the kind of seesaw type of good dub, bad dub. Best character. Heihachi's the easy answer, but he's off his nut with his speech about rationale. Like I said, the biting thing, and then it kind of... Kazuya ripping apart 3 tiny T-Rexes by himself and forced more to retreat for their own safety. He alone shit all over Li Chaolan's plan. Even if he had to kind of position away main character status from Jun to do it. Speaking of Chaolan, they do him real dirty in this. He's the worst character. He's a retired fighter in this movie. I'm glad I got to see him return as Violet in Tekken 4 and end up becoming one of the more benevolent characters of Tekken. But this movie treats him like he's some jealous, ineffective weasel. Power on, I already mentioned. The Heihachi thing. Eating the axe. Power off? Say what you will about some of Toshinden characters just showing up. This movie's got nothing but unspeakable cameo for both kings, Martial Law, Yoshimitsu, and Paul. Probably Bike, too. He makes like one key eye and just gets owned by Kazuya. We could have at least some of those fights, not even a little bit. So 1 Tekken down, 3 to go. I rented this once and didn't think too much of it. Answering barely any question I had about Tekken pre-Tekken 3. And this was also pre-fan wiki/TV tropes for me. But fast forward to the next movie I haven't seen yet in the live-action movie simply titled Tekken. So until then, take care, and I don't know if anyone is ready for a Cheetahman cartoon. I know it exists as just a commercial. It can't hurt me, I don't have to review it.